Hello and welcome to week 5 of this very unusual semester. I'm going to cover a few things this week in this recording. I'm going to start off by talking about the new dates that we've got. We had our non-teaching week a few weeks ago and that has pushed some dates out, so I just want to talk about the new dates. I'm going to give a quick recap on the workshops that you guys are doing and what that entails. I'm going to talk a little bit about our final submission. We are in week 5 now, so I'm going to talk a little bit about how it sort of traditionally would have happened, but also about what the changes are going to be this year. I'm going to give you some portfolio examples, the portfolio that you're going to submit, give you some examples from previous years, and I'll pop these online as well on Canvas so you can see them. And then finally, we'll just look at your groups, what workshops you're going to, and by 10 o'clock today, you'll have an email from your tutors about what you're up to this week. Okay, so let's just start off briefly talk about our new dates. After week 3, we had a non-teaching week, and the result of that is that it's pushed some dates back. So this is from Canvas. I've updated the dates on Canvas of what is week 4, what was week 4. This week is week 5. Which is on the 8th next week. Then we're going to go into the mid-semester break, which is not moving. That's where it was before everything started happening. And then week 6, 7, and so on and so forth. What this means, we take a look at our diagram that I've updated to take all this stuff into account. After week 3, we had our non-teaching week. Then we came back and you did the second week of your second. Now we're into week 5, you're going to be into the first week, the first session of your third workshop. Now that is then going to be interrupted with the mid-semester break, where we don't have to do anything, and then you're going to come back after the mid-semester break and do the second session of your third workshop. So groups A and B will be doing digital design, C and D modeling, E and F, AR, VR, and so on. Okay, I'll just give you a little recap on those workshops, what they entail, what you're doing, starting off with the AR VR one. So again, just to reiterate what I said at the very, very start of this year, this is all about looking at how we use media in terms of our creative process. That's incredibly important to what we're trying to do here. So participating, doing the work, doing the exercises that the tutors are setting, getting feedback on that, and moving forward. So the AR VR is looking at how we can utilize this sort of technology, starting with an analog model, bringing it into the digital, and integrating that into your design process. So not just creating digital models for the final work, but creating digital models as part of the process of your design. The modeling workshop is making very, very quickly, making small models, making lots of them, making them quickly, making them small. Looking at what we can learn from making multiple models as part of this process. Not a model of a final building, but rather of a gesture, of an idea, of a material that helps us think through some of those materials and ideas, and then make other models to respond to that. So quickly making models to shape how we think about material and form. The third workshop is the digital design. And that is about moving into the computer again and looking at how we can use computers to make models and to start to prepare things, in this case preparing stuff for laser cutting to extract and cut, and see what some of the possibilities that affords. Unfortunately, as things have transpired, you'll not be able to actually do a laser cutting from this. But what we will do is work you through the process of how you go about doing that. So whenever you're back and we're all back to some semblance of normality and you have access to the workshops again, you're going to be able to dive in and start doing laser cuts. But it allows for a level of detail and a level of intricacy that you can't get with regular model making. So it's a chance to look at what sort of the possibilities of laser cutting and those sorts of techniques might afford you in your drawing. This is looking at, again, the purpose is not verisimilitude, which is to say it's not about just simply trying to do an accurate drawing of a thing, but it's also about understanding juxtapositions, forms, and other elements. Okay, you'll be doing sort of quite a few drawings on that in this particular one. So a number of different things, from drawing to working in the computer to working in AR, VR to making models. Different medias, that we use as designers in our creative process. Finally, the sketching workshop, which you're all going to do towards the end of the semester, and that is using sketching to explore different things. And these are just some examples that I really, really like. On the left, you've got a drawing which is exploring light and shades and of darkness, light and shadow. On the right, you've got a great drawing of how one might imagine the body geometrically, creating a set of rules to draw it with lines and arcs and geometry rather than organic curves. And then at the bottom, you've got Bart Ingels and how his creative process works with drawing as well. So thinking through some different ways that we can go about sketching. And those are the 5 workshops. Okay, moving on to talk about your final submission, what you're going to do at the very, very end of the semester. There's 2 parts to this. One is the exhibition, which is very much in doubt at this point. Usually we take level 3, you guys pin up your work. It's a great morning, and it's a great exhibition of work. This is likely to be in doubt. It is very unlikely in the next few weeks that we will be able to be back doing the sorts of things in the building that we want to do. We will, and we have planned for a Canvas submission. You would, in previous years, there is also a Canvas submission. This year, there might only be the Canvas submission. So we're going to take you through what sort of traditionally happens and what it looks like we're going to be doing this year. So the first thing that is, under normal circumstances, each one of you are given a board like this in the level 3 exhibition space. You have 5 pieces of work that you will pin up, 1 piece of work from each workshop that you've done. It's up to you to curate this, one from the AR, the digital design, the drawing. You put them in order, which just makes it really, really easy for myself and the tutors to look at these things comparatively and to make some fair assessment on them, which is, we've got over 100 students, so it's so that we can do this efficiently and fairly. Down at the bottom, you'll have a portfolio of the rest of your work. So you'll be pinning up 1 piece from each workshop. At the bottom, you will have a folio of all your other work in there. And very important, this assignment cover sheet will go on that portfolio, and this is just some official information for us for the submission. Name, your ID number, the given name, and it's over here, the course code, the course title, the lecturer, so on and so forth. That needs to be filled out and pinned onto the front of your portfolio so that we have that information. Okay, now what, again, traditionally would happen is that this year your hand-in is on the 24th of June. That's been pushed back a week with our new dates because of that non-teaching week. What will happen is that on the 20th of June, an assignment will open on Canvas that will allow you to upload your digital portfolio, okay, which is a portfolio of, I'll give you some details on it later. We've got a specific page count for your digital portfolio, which is a curated representation of the work that you've done over the year. And I've got some examples for you to take a look at. That opens on the 20th. Then on the 24th, you would traditionally have an exhibition that we would set up in the level 3 space. And we would mark that on the 24th. And then on the 25th, you would come in and you would pick up your work. And then at 11:59 p.m. on the 25th of June, the Canvas portal will close for that assignment. So you've got a period of 5 days between the 20th of June and the 25th of June to upload your PDF portfolio in there. Now, this year, it is highly unlikely, not impossible, but it's highly unlikely that that exhibition, that physical exhibition in level 3 will not be able to go ahead because of the restrictions that are being imposed upon us by the government with the COVID-19 situation. But we are planning for your digital submission. And as things currently stand, the Canvas portal will be opening on the 20th of June, and you'll be able to deposit a digital portfolio of your work in there between the 20th of June and the 25th of June. Now, to give you an idea of those portfolios, we have some examples from previous years. This particular one is about 24 pages. So we've got 5 workshops, so that's about 5 pages per workshop. And if we take a look at this one, you can see this is a very nicely curated piece of work. We're going to now look at, you can see he's got it labeled here, we've got Media VR Workshop, and he was in Group E and F, so lots of information for us, his name, and what this is. Then we've got a few pages, a little description, so very, very nicely put together. A lot of thoughts went into this, how that turns into a section, a lovely little piece of work there. How that model was created and evolved. So some really informative stuff about his process, which is what we're really interested in here. Some screenshots. Moving on to the next piece of work. And here are some models. And you can see up on the left, it's got, this is the modeling workshop. Beautiful, beautiful photographs of the model. And there is the grid that you guys have been doing as well, of the different models in his grid. So wonderful stuff there about his process. Lots of information. So a combination of some really nice final developed pieces, as well as communicating process, the work that's went on over the course of the semester. So some of the final drawings that they did in the drawing workshop, just focusing on some shapes and shadows, some simple forms, windows, some texture there, that's very nice. So there you go. So just covering every single workshop is in there. Another, I'll put these up on Canvas so you can see them. Another, nicely presented portfolio, the name of the course, the portfolio name, ID number, starting off with AR/VR, what they were attempting to do, starting with their physical model, the scanned model, drawings of it, a development process, the modified model. So again, covering, really spelling out really nice and clearly what's going on, what the work is. The digital design. So starting off with the drawing, how that developed into the physical models, drawing workshop. There are the drawings, the exercises that they did, the more abstract ones, final proposal, model making. So it's all nice and clear what's going on. There's the grid again. Ones. So these are some good examples of the portfolio. And you can see there about 27 pages for that one. So you can see the sort of mark that we're looking for here. We don't need Homer's Odyssey. All right, we don't need hundreds of pages. We're talking somewhere between 20 and 30 pages. Again, everything clearly labeled. This is the modeling workshop. This is the digital design workshop. This is the drawing workshop, the AR/VR, physical model, and the VR workshop. So everything clearly labeled so we can see it, we can understand it, but also really good practice at putting together a nice, simple, but I think really effective digital portfolio. Okay. I'll put those up on Canvas so you can see them. Okay. All right. So that is, by and large, much of just what I wanted to talk a little bit about this week. That in the main thing is that your final submission is going to be that digital portfolio into Canvas in the format of those type of things that you've just seen. I'm just going to finish off with just a small reminder of those workshops. So if you're in Group A and B, come 10 o'clock, you're going to be doing a digital design workshop. If you're in Group C and D, you'll be getting an email from your modeling tutors. If you're in E and F, you'll be getting an email from your AR/VR tutors. And if you're in Group G or H, you'll be getting an email from the drawing tutor. Okay. And you'll be working through those exercises today over the course of 3 hours. You will be sending work back to the tutors. They will give you some feedback, and then they will give you some more instructions for next week. Sorry, not for next week, for the following week after mid-semester break. Okay, look, I hope this was useful. I'm really sorry we're not able to be together, but I am going to hopefully have an opportunity for us to get back together again soon. whenever all this is behind us.